remember my mum ringing me up one morning after seeing the episode the night before. She was like, Cassandra, you were a bit of a bitch last night. And I was like, Ma, that was edited. I didn't even say that.
Hey guys, welcome to the Happy Way podcast, your go-to place for all things fun, happiness, well-being, growth, trust, and diversity. I am your host, Melissa Fideli, and I am here to inspire and connect everyone who chooses health and happiness so you can be your healthiest self and live life the happy way. On today's episode, we have Cassandra Mamone, who is an Australian jewellery designer well known for her timeless and unique designs. I am sure you would have saved one of her engagement rings and sent them to your boyfriend or girlfriend at one point in time. As well as being a super successful businesswoman with multiple studios around Australia, you will remember Cass from season 7 of The Bachelor and Bachelor in Paradise. She gives us a spiel on what reality TV is really like and what actually goes on behind the scenes. Cassandra has a very holistic approach on life, follows a plant-based diet, and is always mindfully moving and breathing. Today, Cass will share with us how her way of living has supported her in business and in life. So welcome, Cass.
Thank you so much. Yay. What a beautiful intro.
Of course, you deserve it all.
Thank you.
So to kick things off today, let's jump right into the juicy stuff.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and tell us what being on reality TV show is actually like, what goes on behind the scenes. Tell us about your experience on The Bachelor.
Yeah. So Bachelor in 2019 went on. It was a very interesting experience because I actually got invited to go on to be interviewed to go onto the show, so to audition. Wow. And at the time I thought, okay, why has this opportunity popped up? So I'm very much a go-getter, as you would understand. So I thought, okay, well, this is interesting. We'll see if something comes of this, e.g. will love come from this, which is why most girls go on those shows. And then I thought, well, if that's not supposed to be, then I'm sure it will do great things to benefit the business or networking and whatnot. And so auditioned, got through the next round, went on. Being on The Bachelor was very interesting. I'm in a household with 28 other girls. You're getting mic'd up for cocktail parties. I don't drink. Cocktail parties, everyone's drinking. I think Australia, when it actually aired, I think some of Australia found that a little bit strange that I'm a woman in my 30s that doesn't drink. But the whole being on the show was a lot of fun, but I grew up with 2 older brothers. Being in a household with 28 girls was definitely a different experience for me.
Wow, that would be a lot to
Absolutely.
deal with.
And these girls get so swept up so quickly. Like, oh my gosh, does he like me? And I was a little bit older than majority of them, where it's if he likes you or not, like you kind of got to step through this process and hold your own ground. Whereas I think a lot of them would get quite emotional about things quite quickly, like if they didn't get picked for a date and things like that. Whereas I kind of streamed through the entire experience and I found it really breezy, which was great. When I don't know if you remember when I got off of the show, so I was 12th to get off, and it happened when Matt, who was the Bachelor, brought on his friend Kate, and she kind of chatted with, there were 4 of us on this date, myself included. And I remember when it aired, we were sitting there, me and my girlfriends, watching this episode, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't say that. They've cut what I've said twice. They made for my exit, they made it seem like my business was the be all and end all. I didn't want kids until I was 42. So it was really interesting the way they cut and edited it. And then you've got, your trolls and people in Australia, you've got people defending me, and then you've got people going, oh, she didn't want kids until her 40s. And I remember turning to my friends and going, oh my God, am I ever going to get a date again? Like a guy's not going to want to think like that I want to settle down. So that was a really interesting experience. And then when I got asked to go onto Paradise, I said no.
Okay.
So I said no twice. I received the phone call. It was a firm no. I received another phone call. It was no again. I knew
Why did you say no?
I saw the little bit of editing that had happened in The Bachelor for my exit, and And I saw the editing that had happened to other girls on the show. I got away pretty scot-free.
Yeah, I feel like in The Bachelor with Matt, you were just so grounded, really relaxed. Like I didn't see anything that I was like, look at her, she's so amazing.
Absolutely. Oh, thank you.
Like,
no, absolutely.
Which was good, but definitely a different experience in Bachelor in Paradise.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know, I always seem to think that our intuition tells us something, you know, and maybe I should have stuck to saying no, but went on to Paradise, and it was a whole different ball game. I had so much fun in Fiji where it was filmed, but the editing, like when we watched it back, one word for it was horrendous.
Yeah.
So, you know, before I went on the show, Veronica, who is one of my team members, she said to me, what's the worst that can happen? They can't edit you saying anything that you don't say. You don't say anything nasty. And lo and behold, we're watching the show and we're seeing how they've snipped words from different interviews to form sentences that I never said.
Wow.
So they were really trying to steer a narrative, because I didn't end up with anyone on the show, because I still held my ground, you know. I'm not going to settle for someone that's, you know, that I wasn't interested in, essentially. And so they really were able to, like, saying things like, and you could hear my voice.
It changes. The tone changes. Yeah.
It was you literally heard me saying, I'm better than Brittany. And it was just so horrible to go, wow, like I've got a already established business.
Exactly.
And this is the way they've now portrayed me. And how do I even defend myself?
Exactly. How do you defend yourself to the world?
Because people believe that.
Yeah,
people are believing that I said that.
100%.
So some people are obviously a lot smarter than that and are very clued in as to how reality TV works. They're there to get ratings at the end of the day. And I was a big pawn in that.
Yeah.
So, you know, and from, you know, producers really befriending you as well and trying to steer you into choosing specific guys. Give your rose to this person. No, we think you're going to be great. Give your rose. And all the while when I watched it back, I was like, okay, they did that so it looked like I was cutting Brittany's lunch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so there's a lot of things that I don't regret anything, because I feel like you grow through things, and I made the friends that I made from there, and it was tough. It was tough to come into my studio every day at work and keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, Cass, another bad Google review.
Yeah, so did this affect your business?
It's really funny because I'm so positive, and
you are.
The people that, you know, I'm not even going to mention his name, but there was a guy on the show that he really, after I had like a small little date thing with him, he went on and he exited the show, and he went on the next day to say, in the media, to say bad things. And I didn't dive into it. I didn't start a he said, she said. I just thought, I'm not going to bother with you because you were inappropriate in Paradise. You're inappropriate now. You're a liar, I thought to myself. And like, it's below me to try and get into an argument about this. So I feel like sometimes not bringing energy to situations that don't serve you is the best way to go about things.
Absolutely.
And the girls were really my rock. Like, the one thing I can say about the business is that it was just really bad Google reviews, fake bad Google reviews.
Who were too invested in reality TV show that were trying to bring you down,
which is
horrible.
I kind of think, who has the time?
Exactly.
Who has the heart?
Yeah,
like,
who can be bothered?
How angry are you inside that you don't know someone and you're believing what you're reading or seeing or whatnot, that you go and do this. But that's probably, as tough as it got in business, I'm thankful that my business was already established, that people knew me. And they were like, you know, I had clients come in and say to me, oh, we've had people ask about you. And a couple of my clients, they were like, Cass is the nicest person. She hugs us when we come into the studio. Like, you don't know how she really is. This is all just fake, what we're seeing. I had friends stop watching because they just couldn't believe how much they'd...
I remember seeing, I was online and I remember seeing just, how people would make those stupid memes. And I was disgusted because I knew you. And like, I don't know you incredibly well, but I know you well enough from the few times that I've met you to know that you are such a kind-hearted person that you would never do any of this. And I got so angry. And then I was seeing these random people just comment and say, and
I know.
Like, are you people that invested in TV?
And that's,
it's horrible. And it's like, shame on you to the producers to do that to someone and put them in that position. It's just,
and I think,
The Bachelor is supposed to be about finding love and, it's supposed to be a fun experience, and they just completely don't care.
They've steered so far from that now that it's about creating drama. And another friend of mine, she said the same thing, and she said to me, she'd come down from Sydney and we caught up, and she said, do you know why I think they did this to you? And I said, why? Like, what do you think? She goes, tall poppy syndrome. She goes, there's a successful girl, she doesn't need a man, she didn't go along with the narrative. And I was like, that's a really interesting take on it. And she goes, I remember the old bachelorettes and whatnot, Georgia Love season, they were really focused on love. And now it's about the drama. So it's sad.
I've stopped watching it because I agree. It used to be about love and, finding the person for you and all of those great things. And now every time I turn it on, it's just girls fighting.
Yes.
And girls getting so emotional over a guy that's dating all these other women.
And what kind of it creates so much toxicity for us, It makes us look catty. It's just,
not you girls at all.
Absolutely. So it was interesting for sure.
Okay. Well,
it was definitely a trying time because I am a positive person. And, I remember my mum ringing me up one morning after seeing the episode the night before. She was like, Cassandra, you were a bit of a bitch last night. And I was like, Ma, that was edited. I didn't even say that. There was one part which was horrible. Like, I was sick on
You were a bit of a bitch last night. That's brilliant.
And she's like, oh, okay. Once I told her, I was like, Ma, that was all edited. And, I remember one interview in particular, so gross, but I was sick at the time and I coughed up and I was like, I remember he kind of said something, do you want to like go spit that out there? And I kind of swallowed and went, gross. And they put that right after something about one of the guys I'd been on a date with, like, would you kiss him or something like that? And they put me saying gross right after a question or something like that to make it look like I'm this horrible person. And I was like, and I remember turning to the girls and going, I had like a loogie.
That was about my phlegm.
Wow. So it's so interesting what they can do, and very eye-opening.
Crazy.
I mean, I could talk about it all day, but it was so eye-opening.
I can't believe that they could do that. That's insane.
Yeah, so interesting.
Wow. Yeah. Well, thanks for giving us the insight, because
little bit of an inside scoop.
A lot of people would just see it and think it's real and all of this. You don't kind of know this side of it, really.
Yeah, exactly. And what is fascinating about it is they assign you a psychologist. So they assign the whole cast a psychologist, and so they create a problem, and then they've got a psychologist there to try and fix it. But the psychologist said to me, she goes, Cass, I don't even know how to help in this situation where the things that I'm trying to help on you haven't even done.
Yeah.
She goes, and she was from the UK, and she goes, they get heavy fines in the film industry if they edit to this level.
Well, that's what I thought would be the case.
But not in Australia.
Wow. Yeah. I didn't think they would even be allowed to do that.
Yeah, you sign your life away when you sign that contract, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, goodness me.
So there you go.
Well.
Inside scoop.
Yep. Great. Let's move on from reality TV and chat business, because this is your strong point for sure.
Yes.
You are the founder of Cassandra Mamone Jewellery, which you started in 2013, where you launched your first fine jewellery collection. Since then, your business has literally blown up and grown significantly, which is amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can you tell us about your journey and how you started and how it kept growing and where you are now?
Absolutely. When I first started the brand, it was actually 2010.
Okay.
And I was doing, bridal jewellery, putting it in shops, that kind of thing. Had created the website, the brand name and whatnot. But as you said, 2013 was when I released my first fine jewellery collection. So I almost see that as this real starting point of it. And because before releasing that collection, I had clients coming to me via word of mouth, just coming, for an engagement ring and, other kinds of fine jewellery. And in 2013 was when I said, okay, I need to release a collection and I need to make this phenomenal and whatnot, and hadn't seen any rose gold around. And so there was rose gold and champagne diamonds in this collection, and it garnered a lot of attention from people, and that's when people truly started going, okay, she does engagement rings, we're going to see her. So from there, I think I got my first little studio in Melbourne Street. It was, and it was amazing, like the amount of people I started seeing come through the door, because before that they were just popping into my apartment. So it was literally creating engagement rings from home. And it's funny when we see some clients come through to our studio now, I'm like, oh guys, if they hadn't met that person before, I'm like, this person actually came to me when I was working from my apartment. So now obviously we're on Hutt Street in Adelaide. We've got a studio in Melbourne as well. We've got international clients. We've done international campaigns. So the business has really gone from strength to strength. We're an all-woman team.
Love that.
And we have so much fun. So the journey has been quite an interesting one.
So have you always been interested in jewellery design? Is that something you've always wanted to do?
So it started as a hobby at school. I was just making beaded jewellery for friends and family.
I remember when I used to do that back in the day.
So I just continued doing that kind of thing. Good on you. So I remember selling my first pair of earrings, and I was like $15, and I remember being paid for that pair of earrings and going, wow,
I can make money from this.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
And so that's really where it started. And when I was about to finish high school, my mum's words to me were, Cassandra, whatever you do, I want you to get a degree.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. And you know how they give you that book? They give you that big book where you've got to make your decision on what you want to be.
And there.
Exactly. And you've got to choose what you want to study.
Yeah.
And so funny enough, I see a Bachelor Visual Arts and Applied Design. Major could be jewellery. And so that's what I studied. It was a 3-year course, and I got my degree at the end. I wore that little hat when I graduated. I made mum happy. And then I went straight into the field and started working for someone in jewellery manufacturing, and then day in and day out I was kind of doing the same thing. I was in quality control, and I just thought, okay, I'm worth more than this. I need to be doing more than this. I'm too creative. So basically from there I set up my business quite slowly, and I've got friends that were, I never gained capital, so I never took out a loan for the business or anything like that. I just did everything step by step.
Okay.
Save enough money, create a website. Slowly work on my first collection. Okay, now I've got a first collection. Let's try and sell pieces to get a little bit more money back into the business. It was kind of very gradual steps for me until it just boomed.
Wow. Was there one thing that made you boom, or
it's really interesting.
Was there one collection that was like, oh my God, this is really doing well?
So I think it was definitely first collection. People were like, okay, wow, she's doing engagement rings. Then it was definitely the La Donna Collection, which was released in 2014, 15, I think it was. And it had one of our most popular pieces to date, which is the Vino engagement ring. And it's online, and now we offer it, with different diamond shapes in the center. But that was we just became renowned for that piece. And I had people from all over the world asking or purchasing this engagement ring. So that was kind of really pivotal. Another thing was my first influencer that wore a piece of my jewellery was I don't know if you know Danielle Bernstein, We Will What? She's a New York fashion blogger.
Yes, I do know her. Yeah,
so
amazing.
at the time, it was when Instagram was just getting its legs.
Beautiful.
So people would actually follow. If an influencer said, hey, follow this brand,
they would follow.
Yeah. And it was so funny. We sent her a piece of jewellery and it was so expensive for me to make and to send over. It was quite an outlay and it was this diamond ring and she wore it. And she misspelt my name when she tagged me. I was like, oh my gosh. And she goes, I know, I'm so sorry. And in those days, I don't know if you remember, you couldn't edit your caption.
No way.
Back in those days. So she had to, I think she had to end up writing my name, my tag in the comments or something like that. But I noticed this other misspelt Cassandra Mamone or whatever it was gaining all these followers. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Get out.
But nonetheless,
So you took a risk and you're like, oh my goodness.
Can you imagine? You've spent all this money,
stressful.
it's your moment, and then she's gone and misspelt my name. But nonetheless, I gained followers from it.
Yeah.
I gained, someone in New York purchased that ring. I gained international New York clients. So it was really
so it did work out in the end.
and she loved the ring.
Yeah.
She wore it on Project Runway. I had amazing pictures of her wearing it. So that was another pivotal kind of point.
Wow, okay.
Where you notice things kind of
really boom.
grow from that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So when starting your own business and building your own brand, what have been some of the biggest challenges for you and how have you overcome them?
Yeah, I think with anyone wanting to start a business, as soon as I had the thought, I was like, yes,
Yeah.
I want to do this. And I was young. I was early 20s, early mid-20s. And I was still living with my parents at the time, my beautiful Italian parents.
Yeah, beautiful.
And one of the things I do remember was some nights laying awake going, what if this doesn't work?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what if I fail? What if this? What if that? But the thing about it is you've got to kind of feel the fear and you've got to push yourself to do it anyways.
Yeah.
And essentially did that and really didn't look back. So, but there's been a lot of challenges along the way, one of which was obviously, going onto a reality TV show and being edited in a way that doesn't represent me at all.
No.
And then having to deal with the consequences of that and the bad Google reviews and things like that and going, oh my gosh, am I going to lose everything I've built from this decision to go on this show and
scary.
this editing? But because we were already well established, people knew who I was. People loved the brand.
Yeah.
So it honestly, I can't actually say that it affected any sales, any clients.
Good.
We kept booming through it, and we kept our heads on strong, our whole team, and I got to say, they were my rocks during that. And that was a personal challenge that overflowed into the business.
Of course. When it's something so big that affects you in such a deep level,
absolutely,
of course it's going to bleed out onto your business and everything else in your life.
And my business is my name.
Exactly.
It's not like my name's Cassandra Mamone, but my business is just called Pretty Fine Jewellery.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You are the face, you are the name, you are the brand.
100%. Yeah. So that was definitely another challenge. The pandemic as well. So opened my second studio in Victoria, March 2020.
Oh goodness.
Went over with my beautiful mother, helped me set up this gorgeous studio, signed the lease for 3 years. Boom. We went into a short lockdown. I think
ours was
restricted.
We just had restrictions, like severe restrictions, but
Melbourne
has another story.
Well, Melbourne has now got the award for longest lockdown in the world. So my business has been closed more than it has been open in Melbourne. And you know what's really funny about it is it didn't, like, Adelaide was going so well and I'd been through I was going through the adversity while Melbourne was closed. So Bachelor in Paradise was airing middle of 2020. So I had so many other things on my mind.
That was like the last thing on your mind at the time.
And when we were open, those small parts when we were open, I think we were open from May until about July in Melbourne. People were still booking in. They were still, you know, so for all the people that do watch reality TV and do believe what they see, there's a whole bunch of people that watch it and don't buy into what they see. There's a whole bunch that don't watch it at all. So yeah, very interesting times. There's been a few challenges along the way, but we've dealt with them as best we can. You grow through it.
So would you say having a good team around you is one of the most important aspects to getting over these challenges?
100%.
100%. And you do have such a positive outlook on life anyway, which would really help. There's those situations. So
thank you. And I think that definitely rubs off onto my team members as well.
100%, of course.
But when I hire my team, you know, I remember when I worked for someone else, I thought, one day when I have my own business, I'm going to hire people that become my friends. You know, I'm going to hire a team where we have fun every day. And that is exactly what we do. And their personalities as well complement mine very much. So, and it'd be hard to hire someone that didn't, you know, that didn't get along with all of us, or you know, I wouldn't hire someone purely based on whether they excelled in a certain area if they weren't a great fit for the team, because then that kind of lets down other aspects in the team. So no, they're phenomenal, and and they've really helped with every challenge that's come along the way.
I love that. Well, I follow you on Instagram and I see your stories behind the scenes and you guys look like you have such a good time. I love it. It's so fun. I love there's one girl in your office that can sing.
Yes, that's Cassie.
That's Cassie. And I love that you do the voiceovers and her head just kind of pops out. It's great. You guys got to follow her on Instagram so you can see what I'm talking about.
So cute.
So, all right, I got to ask you this question. But for anyone listening who thinks it's about time to pop that big question to their partner, what do we need to know about picking the perfect engagement ring?
Oh my gosh.
Who else do we have to ask? Like, let's get all the goss from you.
Well, something great that we do. So first of all, we are a by appointment studio. So clients that it's very discreet. So if a guy's about to pop the question, it's not like walking into a store and, you know, her friends could be in the same mall or something and see you, you know.
What is he doing in Shills?
I know.
Who's he voting for?
So the thing about it is they can book online and they can come in, and we actually go through our diamond sourcing with our clients. So we go through the kind of diamonds clarity we source, so the diamond colors we source. So we go through a bit of diamond education with our client. All our diamonds are GIA certified, which is the Gemological Institute of America. One of, I think, the harshest grading systems in the world. So you can't, no diamond is alike to any other diamond. So if a guy is wanting to pop the question, I'd say definitely get to know your 4 C's and the diamond quality you're after.
What are the 4 C's?
The 4 C's are your carat. Okay, so the weight of the diamond, the cut.
The cut.
The colour and the clarity.
Okay.
Right.
I'll Google these later. I'll write them all down. So slip a list under his pillow or something.
The things, exactly. So the things that make a diamond. But essentially we're on the high end of all those things. So, well, you know, when it comes to quality, we prefer quality over quantity. So you'd rather a smaller weight diamond that is white, bright, beautiful than something larger that looks dirty and looks like doesn't catch the eye. So definitely we do a little bit of that jewellery knowledge in the studio. I would also say if he's about to pop the question, it's good to know her, you know, metal that she likes. Does she like rose gold, yellow gold? Does he know what, you know, diamond she's after? Does she want a round, marquee and oval? There's key things. We get a lot of guys coming in with their girls now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is, so they involve them in the process because it is quite a luxury boutique experience with us. And then, you know, we don't ask any of the personal questions like budget or anything like that while she's there. Afterwards,
you just get the kind of design that she's after.
If the guy's feeling unsure, that's a good way. You know, if he definitely, otherwise we do a bang on job
Of
anyways.
course you would.
I guess that's the exciting thing about coming to an all-female team. We know style, we know diamonds, we know, so
we know what the women want.
Exactly, we do. So
amazing, I love that. So I want to ask you about your life outside of work.
Yes.
You eat a plant-based diet and you are very much about holistic health and healing. Tell us more about your lifestyle, why this works for you. How long have you been following this for? Yeah, and how has it helped you in other areas of your life?
Absolutely. So when I was 20, I was diagnosed, I had an ovarian cyst.
Okay.
They found an ovarian cyst on my, I think it was right ovary, left ovary, whatever.
One of the ovaries, yeah.
And so what do? They operate. So they cut into you and they take out what is there and whatnot. After that, they put me on medication. That was horrible and didn't work for me and made me feel, if I've ever known depression, it was during that period of time. And so it was following from that then I was put on the pill to stop my periods for, I think it was almost 2 years that went on for, until someone at my kickboxing class said to me, "That's not normal." No. And I was like, you know what, you're right, that's not normal. Yeah. So following from that, I found a really great naturopath, went off of the pill, was no longer on any medications, did a great detox, and my life has pretty much continued that way. I did the blood type diet for a little while for quite a while following that, you know, where I was eating only lamb and turkey were my only proteins, like, you know, meat source proteins. And then when I turned 30, I read an article on the benefits of a plant-based diet and I did it and I felt better, looked better. Eyes were brighter, hair was shinier, and I was just
You do have very shiny hair. Oh, yeah, I did want to say that earlier.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, continue.
Thank you. And so I was just like, wow, if all these benefits are happening, this is a really good thing. And so, you know, I'm 36 now, so I've been doing it quite a while, but there's so much more that I include into my lifestyle, from meditation to acupuncture. You know, I've just started getting cosmetic acupuncture.
Wow.
So I shouldn't say started. I had it before, but now I'm seeing someone that's specific to cosmetic acupuncture.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, so it's like your natural Botox. So it doesn't.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
give me their number.
I will. So, you know, I see a kinesiologist as well. You know, I see someone else that works with acupressure points. So there are a lot of alternative medicines that I look upon in my life to really zone me out, because my mind does go a million miles per second. And I think that just comes with starting my business in my mid-20s and constantly thinking about it, you know, after hours.
How am I going to grow? How is this going to happen? What am I doing next?
Correct. Yeah. I remember when it was just purely me and I hadn't built a team yet, I would go home from work and still be checking my emails.
Yeah, of course.
And then it reached 1 year that I just said, enough's enough, because I'm not switching off. I'm not getting my downtime. Yeah. So I stopped doing that. I stopped looking at emails after I left work. And now obviously I've got a team. I have my Fridays off. So I've got an R&R day where I go and get massages and do things for me.
Yes.
So I've really built it to a level where I can have my personal freedoms as well, but work isn't work to us. We have too much fun.
Yeah.
So I definitely, a plant-based diet has assisted in supporting my health so that I don't get sick. I don't have sick days. No. I've got my R&R day every week, but I actually don't have sick days, which is really great. So I'm a big believer in it.
Yeah, so it's definitely helped you to feel healthy and vibrant and happy.
Absolutely.
And, you know, get the job done, really.
Absolutely.
Because if you didn't have energy and you didn't feel that clarity in your mind, you wouldn't be as successful as you are, that's for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so before we finish today, this is a question I ask everyone before they go. I would love to know, what is one key lesson you have learned on your journey with life and business that you would tell your younger self?
It would definitely be to use I know it's a little bit cliche, but use your intuition. Okay. I didn't start really using my intuition until my mid-20s. I called off my wedding. I was engaged.
Oh, really? I didn't even know this about you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I was engaged and I was just with the wrong person.
Yeah.
And so when I was actually engaged, I was engaged a whole year before I called it off. And every night I was having dreams about my wedding day and crying on my wedding day. So I was having these nightmares literally every night. And I was trying to dig deep, and I knew my body was telling me something. I knew my heart was telling me something. I knew my mind was telling me something. But you know, you're in this position, you know, Italian parents, I can't let them down. I don't want to embarrass them.
Yes.
But I was like, I really have to listen to myself here. And the minute I called it off and turned away from that situation, it was like a weight lifted off my shoulders. And that night I slept like a baby. And following from that, every decision I made was guided by my intuition. It was like once you believed in it, it would continue to get stronger.
Yeah.
And it really has. So from my mid-20s to now, I can honestly say that with every decision I make, I use my intuition. And it doesn't lead me astray. It always leads me in the right direction. So that is definitely something I would have told my younger self to. If something doesn't feel right, just don't go with it.
Yeah.
Follow your intuition.
You know what I love about you is the one thing I've got from this whole chat with you is you constantly back yourself and you believe in yourself and you are your number one supporter, and it's just so admiring because a lot of the time, you know, whether it's in business or in a relationship or just in life in general, we don't listen to ourselves. Like we might get a gut feeling or we might get this emotion. We're like, am I genuinely happy? I don't know. But you don't because you think, I don't want to let this person down. I don't want to let that down. I told myself I was going to do this. I've got to stick to it even though I'm not happy. And like, one thing I've got from you is that you got to back yourself. You got to listen to yourself and you got to be your number one support, because if you don't do it, no one else is. Yeah,
exactly
so
right.
Very amazing. I've just got that through our whole chat and it's been
so
really
glad.
inspiring.
I'm so glad.
Yes, thank you so much for coming on
Thank you for
sharing your
having me.
story and giving us a bit of an insight into your journey throughout the couple of years that have been a little bit crazy. But yeah, it's definitely interesting to hear about, and you know, you've come out the other end happy and healthy and smiling, and that's all that matters, really.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Thank
So
you.
where can everyone find more of you? Where can they follow you?
Definitely on Instagram, so Cassandra Mamone.
Yep.
1 M in the middle.
Okay, 1M, yeah.
And then we're obviously online as well, CassandraMamone.com, which is really great. So
You have to go check out all her designs. They are absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
And just follow everything you do because you're such an awesome person.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you.
Yep. So that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I hope you have taken even just one piece of wisdom from this episode that you can apply to your life to help you grow and be a happier and healthier version of you. Please like, subscribe, and leave a review on Apple Podcasts, and make sure to share us on your stories. Sending lots of love to you all. Bye.